Hey, it's Jessica with Rabbit's Pantry. Today we're going to talk about retrograde. What's retrograde mean in your chart? So, in birth charts, you can have planets that are in retrograde and planets that aren't, or a lot of them, or none at all, right? It just depends on your own individual chart. But really, what does that retrograde mean? You see it, but it's not always talked about. Or you hear retrograde, but like, what's the understanding of that? And it's essentially when a planet behaves differently. So when your planet's traveling straight and doing its normal thing, it's like a routine. It's just going and doing its daily routine and motions, and it's doing the same thing that's expected of it, right? So say, for example, we've got Mars. Mars is always known as like that V8 engine. It's pushing forward, it's got energy, it's got drive, it's getting things done, and it's always got gas, always just full and keeps going. Well, when Mars is in retrograde, it can behave differently. So depending on what else is going on in your birth chart, that Mars is either like a jet engine, and good luck with that, or it's completely sluggish and is not picking up speed like it should. That's supposed to be getting motivation and getting things done, right? So when you're looking at a retrograde in your chart, we can definitely go over it more in your own readings, but you're going to notice that the planet is behaving differently. So whatever it is, just think about, what would this look like when it's misbehaving? Another perfect example is we are coming out of a retrograde with Mercury and Mars at this time. And a couple weeks ago, I had said, Mercury and Mars are in retrograde. Be kind, be gentle, communication is key, all of these different things that I was just like, love each other, please. And for the last couple of weeks, everyone's been like, ah! And including myself, I have had my little fits and tantrums in my car by myself, but it happened, right? And that's what happened. Those planets, Mercury is all about communication and just, I have to communicate. I have to communicate if it's in writing, if it's verbal. And then you've got Mars that is like, I have to get things done. I have to get things done. So you have these two clashing and behaving differently. And you end up with this explosive emotion from feeling trapped and feeling like you can't communicate and you're just muted and just debilitated in your ability to get this communication done, okay? That's what happens. Well, let's think about this. Do you know what happens on November 3rd? Who doesn't in America know what's happening November 3rd? The election. On the election day, Mercury goes stationary. And I know you're going to ask what that means. So when Mercury goes stationary, or these retrograde planets go stationary, it's almost like they jumped out on stage and they're just like, ta-da, I'm here. And then you're like, ah, I'm communicating again. And then you got to say all of the things. And then all of a sudden you're not maybe as mad, or maybe you have the energy you didn't have before. Well, think about that. November 3rd, it's right here, election day, and Mercury went stationary. So that tells you something about the communication. And then on November 14th is when Mars goes stationary, or direct is what these are called in astrology. So it's going to kind of like get very intense for one day and then go back on its normal path. So this is the big like jumping out, the big ta-da for both Mercury and Mars. When Mercury does this on November 3rd, I think obviously we're going to see everybody spew a ton of information all on the same day. So that'll be really interesting. I don't know if I'm even turning the TV on that day. Maybe I'll just stay home and eat ice cream. But yeah, that is exactly what retrograde and the planets going stationary and direct all do. And hopefully that helps you. Thanks for listening. Bye.